Good afternoon, everyone, friends, followers, and fans, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the big day. The big day on AIFF TV is because today it's not every day that you get to speak or hear from the national coach, and today is the big day when the national coach, Mr. Igor Stimac, should be joining us straight from the camp. Straight from the camp in Dubai, the ongoing camp in Dubai. He'll be answering many questions from the fans and all the stakeholders, including some journalists, Mr. Igor Stimac, for the first ever time. Waiting for him to be joining us from Dubai. The camp is already on, and as you all know, international friendlies against UAE, Oman, and UAE on 25th and 29th of this month. We are sure to have the coach very, very soon joining us live from Dubai. Ladies and gentlemen, a big day on AIFF TV because you have heard from everyone, but we have never heard from the coach. There was a special request to the coach going in from our side each and every day because it's the start of the season, and who better to be summing up as to what is coming up than the national coach himself. Waiting for Mr. Stimac to be joining us. He would be joining us very, very soon. There's no doubt on that. There's some sending a request as of now. Still waiting for him to be just joining us from Dubai. The camp has already started. The boys have been there in Dubai for 2-3 days now, from the 15th, and having their training sessions in Dubai. I trust we have already him with us. Igor Stimac. Let me again send him another request. There he is. We have sent him a request already, inviting him. Wait for him to be joining us. It's a 27-member, very strong squad which Mr. Stimac has selected for the international friendlies. And there we have the coach. Coach, privileged to have you amongst us.
Thank you, dear Nilanjan, and just happy to have a chance talking and say hi to everyone who is following Indian football, who is supporting Indian national football team, and let's speak about football.
Definite, coach. How is Dubai? How is Dubai treating you? How have been the sessions been, coach?
It's good. Finally, I'm really happy to have a chance being with our players and spending time with them, working with them, and watching live how much they improved.
And everyone settled down as far the weather is concerned? Pleasant weather, I guess.
Yeah, it's pleasant weather. As players are mentioning, it's much easier to handle training sessions here and work here than it was in Goa, which was really humid place, you know, and they survived the longest sporting bubble in the world, which was not easy. So Dubai comes to them in a good time. They can enjoy their work. They are working really hard, but it's, as you know, more flexible life situation here, and it suits them.
Definitely, much more flexible situation out there, as the national coach points out. Coach, many questions, including obviously from fans and including some questions from journalists. I start with a question from a journalist from the Times of India. Mr. Shoibal Bose from Kolkata has asked this question. A very obvious question which many other fans have already also asked. There will be a number of new faces in the camp. There already are a number of new faces. Does it change your approach, and is it difficult or easy to be coaching the young players? Your thoughts on it?
No, it doesn't changing our approach. You know, everyone who is here on merits. They earned it throughout ISL season, which was fantastic, and I was really impressed with some of the youngsters. You know that most of them came through a youth development program. Most of them were part of under-17 World Cup generation. And I'm really happy that once again, this project is confirmed as very successful, and it's bringing a brighter future to Indian football.
That's lovely, obviously, without any doubt, bringing brighter future to Indian football. There are also other question. I take another question from a journalist. This, as many journalists have asked this question, Mr. Ronald from Mumbai. Mr. Shubhajit from Anandabazar Putrika, and Mr. Munal Chattopadhyay also from Ajkal. And it's about SC11, Sunil Chhetri. And they ask how much will his experience be missed? Is that a big blow to the squad? And the second part of the question they mention is the last time Sunil wasn't there, it was an inspired display when we held Qatar. So will the boys again be inspired that much to be performing without him?
Yeah. Yeah. We are all really sad that our captain was not able being with us, first of all, and we are sending him our love from here and regards. We just hope that he comes back to us motivated as always very soon in upcoming camp in April. We miss him. You know how important is his presence with the team, how great motivator he is, how influential he is with the youngsters, and we of course miss him. But in regards to how to replace him, the answer was given already against Thailand in King's Cup, in Qatar, against Qatar in the qualifiers. It needs to be a team effort, you know, and the boys proved already they can do it. They are enormously motivated when Sunil is not there because they have point to prove. And that point cannot be replaced individually. Sunil cannot be replaced individually. He needs to be replaced as a team effort, group effort. And I hope the boys will do it once again.
Definitely, the boys should be doing it once again. Coach, a question from my side. You have seen world football. You have played it yourself. Have been there. You have coached. How do you rate Sunil Chhetri's mental aspect and his approach to the sport?
You see, there is no many players at that age playing at the highest level. When you watch how Sunil was performing last season, this season actually, which nearly finished, we can say that he improved his game. Even BFC was not doing as great as before. You know, his individual numbers are showing us that he improved once again his game. That is giving us proof that he's motivated still, that he wants to keep going on, which is very important for those youngsters who are developing their knowledge besides him. And I just hope that he will stay motivated as he is, because he's got still space to improve and to help in development, which we are putting our efforts in.
Definitely, Sunil. If you are hearing that, get well soon. The team misses you, and the coach speaks as always very, very highly about you. Everyone looking up to you. There's a fan question from Mr. Avirup Mukherjee, coach. Mr. Mukherjee asks. Did you pick players from the point of view of your game plan, or did you pick them because they performed well in the ISL, Hero ISL, or was it a conglomeration of both?
It was conglomeration of not only these few things, but many more. You know, there are some players who proved already that they can play really well at the international level. So some bad performances cannot erase them from the list for the national team. But most of the players who are here were on the merits of the four they shown in the past ISLCs. You know, as I said, they all earned the call. I'm sorry the list couldn't be longer because there are few more who could be here with us. But as you know, there is a certain limit on the players list, and we cannot go above that. So, of course, I'm looking for the players who can match what we are looking for. And as you can see, we're going to have a good young squad. An average age of our 27 players here is 24 years, you know. If you know that we have few guys who are over 30 here, and all behind that is 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, which is fantastic. You know, we are trying to build on under 17 squad. We are trying to develop their knowledge. We are trying to make sure that in upcoming 4 years, they become ready to play against best, to win against best. And it's a long process in football. It takes time, but I think in the past 2 years, having in mind that last 12 months we didn't have chance being together and working together, we improved a lot. And the guys are learning very quick. They are really hard workers, which is fantastic for the national team. And overall, football promotion has going in waves in India, which is amazing. From the lowest levels, from the baby leagues, grassroots programs, and up. So football will take over very soon in India as the sport number one.
Taking over as sport number one, says Mr. Igor Stimac. Indian football forward together with help from everyone. That's the vision and mission of the All India Football Federation and Indian football under the leadership of Mr. Igor Stimac as the head coach. Ladies and gentlemen, as you hear that, we will be coming to you, coach, for your opinions on the Golden Baby Leagues when you mentioned that. But prior to that, when you speak about a young squad, there's a very relevant question from a friend of mine, a journalist again, Mr. Shyam Vasudevan, who writes for the Sports Star. And Shyam asks you, you have got a very young midfield contingent that has tremendous space. These youngsters will be helping you to enforce your attacking style of play much more, you feel?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When we are talking about the structure of one team, so it should be in a way that your back four is quite experienced, not too much, not over experienced, but it needs to be the part of the team which will stabilize defending the defensive positions. Those midfield players, they need to have aggression, they need to have speed, they need to have charisma, everything what is needed in modern football. And I think that our players better improved a lot in this segment. We have 6-7 youngsters there who can fight, who can chase, who can pass the ball, which is very important, and without any fear. It was proved in ISL last season, and now they need to prove it in the international level. I will give them the chance to do so. What we do here, we are trying to relax them, to explain to them that there is no reason for fear at the international level. They need to be themselves and prove to the world that they can play against the best.
Prove to the world the sky is the limit, the national coach says. Another relevant question, this time I trust this is the last question from a journalist, Mr. Anshuman Roy. He has interviewed you prior from the Telegraph. He asked Bipin is there, Apuya is there, Akash, Jackson, Ishan, so many youngsters. Great that you have brought them into the squad. What advice are you giving them, and how are you protecting them and keeping them under your umbrella and teaching them about international football?
Yeah, I appreciate all the journalists putting their questions forward here. How I protect them? We are family. This is the family circle here, and we fight for each other. We live together, we breathe together, and there is no reason for anyone to feel scared or have any kind of fear. Not a single player will be eliminated for one mistake or two mistakes. What we are trying to work on, not to repeat mistakes. As I mentioned before in few interviews, we became the team throughout our work, which is very difficult to beat. We are not conceding many goals, which was proved in the qualifiers. Although we have a problem scoring goals, which is the consistent problem when we speak about Indian football, but we didn't have much time for work. Although it was not possible for international coaches who are leading ISL clubs to spend more work with Indian players on their improvement, on shooting, on scoring, because the ISL was organized as it was this season, and coaches were under lots of pressure, just having time to refresh the players and go from game to game, trying to save their legs and their brains, their heads. And this was the season which didn't help us a lot in that way for individual work and improvement on each individual player. But overall, it was fantastic season because many new faces came through this season. As you know, we have here 11 players from this youth development program. I would say, I think 5 of them are on the sides for now, which didn't have great season. One of them, yes, he did a quite good season. I'm talking about Raul Kepe, but he was not with us at this stage. There is Amarjit also, who is still recovering from that really difficult injury and was trying to find himself through Jamshedpur and Goa. I hope he will get back to his feet and show to everyone that he's got capacity to come back to the national team. There is also Narender, who didn't play his position actually throughout the season. He was mostly occupying left fullback position, which is not his favorite position. I see him in the future as a proper center back for Indian national team. And we didn't see much of Komal in ATK because ATK, they played as they did. We didn't see many youngsters or any of the youngsters. It was Komal and Samitrati who were coming through few minutes in some games, but not more than that. The guys, what they need to do, Rahim Ali also, he played quite good at the beginning of the season and somehow later on with the team, he disappeared a little bit with the great performances, but they are all our future. You know, we are following them. We are trying to help them in every way. And even they are not here with us, they need to feel as part of this generation and keep working really hard to get on the list for upcoming camps.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national coach doesn't shy away from anything. He has made you understood some players for the future would be part of the camp, and without even anyone asking that question, which other national coach in the world would be giving you so much clarification on his selection procedure? Thank you so much, coach, for all of that. Thank you so much. Yeah. Coach, a fan question. This comes from Mr. Utkarsh. He speaks about the 2 international friendlies, forthcoming international friendlies. What is your main aim or focus, and how, obviously, this will benefit the team, but if you could elaborate how much and in what manner will this 2 great matches against 2 huge, greatly strong oppositions benefit Indian football?
You had a chance to meet closer my football philosophy, Nilanjan, and you know that from the very beginning I said that we're not going to look for easy opponents in the friendly games when we get the chance. So my philosophy is that we can improve only playing against better sides, better players and better teams. And that's what we're trying to do. So immediately when we found out that the qualifiers will be postponed for June, I would say in 24 hours, with the help of Mr. Abhishek Yadav and our dear Secretary Kushal Das, we confirmed 2 friendly games against Oman and Arab Emirates, which was not easy, but we were working hard. Immediately after we found out that the qualifiers are postponed, and we got 2 great opportunities to play against one of the best teams in Asia. So this is a great chance, great opportunity, nothing to fear about. We need to get ready to come out on the pitch without any fear whatsoever and play our game. Try to do what we do on the training pitch. Play with freedom, try to make transition in both ways, try to handle the possession good and enjoy our football. That's all what I'm asking from our players.
Definitely, that's the coach speaking exclusively on AIFF TV. A question from one of my former colleagues and also someone who has worked with you. Shobik Mukhopadhyay has personally asked me to ask you this question.
Regards to Shobik. We miss you, Shobik.
He has said, Coach, is it a revenge match against UAE? In the Asian Cup, we had lost to them 0-2. So is it a revenge match?
No, it's not a revenge match, you know. They changed the manager in the meantime, and my dear friend, Mr. Branko Ivankovic, one of the most successful Croatian coaches, is in charge now of Oman national team with his 4 assistants there. And we spent a lovely night last night at one of the restaurants here in Dubai, talking and discussing future of Oman football and Indian football. He was really impressed because he was analyzing our games against Oman. He was really impressed what he has seen and how much progress he saw in Indian football, and telling me and confirming that we have a great bunch of young players, you know, with some good experienced players there, that we are being compact and difficult to beat. But he is also mentioning that he changed few things at Oman's side, that he is impressed with the youngsters there, with the mentality and their approach to work, mentioning that they are working really hard, they are really motivated for this game. So let's see what's going to happen. I know my friend very well, you know, he won many trophies. He was 3-time champion with Persepolis in Iran. He was taking Iranian national side to the World Cup in 2006 and having great success in Croatia with Dinamo Zagreb, with one of the best clubs in Croatia. So good coach. Definitely Oman team will be improved from what we have seen in the past, in the previous 2 games we played against them. I'm not sure how much, but it's going to be a difficult game and good one to watch.
Definitely difficult and good one to watch, the head coach says. Miss Natasha, there's a lady asking a question after a long time. Miss Natasha asks a very relevant question. Where does the Blue Tigers go after the international friendlies? Will you be having a camp in May prior to the June qualifiers?
It's on the table actually. Now and next few days we need to finish planning for upcoming camp. You know, it's not going to be easy to handle everything because we have 3 clubs involved in Asian Cups. You know, Goa, ATK and BFC are all involved in Asian Cups throughout April and May, which will make difficult our work, but not impossible. Once again, you know. So I will discuss everything with our technical department and Mr. Das and Abhishek also. I would love to start the camp somewhere at the end of April, maybe 21st April. This basic work should be provided in India, somewhere in India, where we can have a good work, where we can test all the players and do the basic aerobic work. And after that, we need to look for a place where we can be safe, where we can obtain second part of the work involving technical, tactical points of the game and preparing for the last 3 qualifiers. So let's see what is on the table, what are our positions and possibilities, because with this corona situation and measures all over the world and changing from week to week, it's not easy to plan anything. You need to have different options, you know. So we'll see how we handle that.
Definite coach, you speak about the COVID situation. You are a part of Indian football family. Indian football has been leading from the front during the pandemic situation in India. The domestic sporting action was brought back into India by Indian football. In fact, the Hero I League qualifiers, followed by the Hero Indian Super League, the Hero I League. No other sports in India started that early after the COVID pandemic situation. Being part of the Indian football family, how much proud are you that Indian football actually brought sporting action back in India?
I'm very proud. And you need to know that, of course, there are some critics also in regards to the work in AIFF, etc., you know. But this was the best answer to all those who were criticizing in the past the work of AIFF. Because being the most successful sport federation, not football federation in the world, throughout pandemic situation, it's showing how hard is working our federation and our people there. Congratulations to all of you, to all the stakeholders, to you guys there, to FSDL, to everyone involved, to clubs, to their owners, because spending 5 months in the bubble without a single positive case, which is the longest sport bubble in the world. it's amazing. And I received congratulations in that name from different and various people from UEFA and FIFA also. They were surprised how great organization-wise was this handled.
Thank you so much. We say hashtag Indian football forward together. Thank you so much for that. Coach, you spoke about Miss Yo-Yo. I don't know whether the individual is a gentleman or a gentle lady. The name is Yo-Yo. And the question is about the youth academy setup, which you had mentioned. 11 of your 27 players come from the AIFF academy system, be it the arrows or the academy setup. There's a silent kind of a revolution going on that the under 16 and the under 19 you were associated even with the Indian arrows. So what's your take on that, the revolution which is going on?
Yeah. You see, our viewers and people who are following Indian football can see what they are provided to see. They can see ISL, they can see national team playing on TV, but they cannot see those things happening behind the scenes. They cannot see what we are doing with the grassroots program, with baby leagues, with youth development program, how much work has been done there. This work will be seen very soon. It's seen already with those youngsters coming through Indian Arrows. You know that last season we sent my staff, my assistants to help Indian Arrows. Venki is in charge there, who is my first assistant. You know that some of the players came through this work last season to ISL clubs. They were recognized as very talented and ready to play the games in ISL, and all the credits to them, you know, to everyone involved there. We're gonna keep working in that manner, in that way. We're not gonna be selfish because we are thinking globally. Everyone is important in our football family, but there is no much time. Some people were concerned about me not following I-League this year, but actually I have Venki with Indian Arrows involved in I-League, and he's involved in every single game. So I have great numbers, great statistics, great opinions from the I-League. That's the way how we follow. We need to be realistic also and to say that ISL is a professional part of this Indian football, very well organized, and from this part are coming the players to the national team. From I-League, because it's a lower quality of the football, I consider I-League for now a filter for ISL League, which needs to be a place where young Indian players can develop and grow as a players, become recognized by ISL clubs and signed by them, you know, which doesn't mean that it will not happen that some of I-League players gets on the list for the national team camp if he proves really good.
Definitely. There's door is always open, and it's a revolving door. Perform and you get in. Perform and you get in. You had mentioned about the Golden Baby Leagues, Coach, some time back. What's your take on the Golden Baby Leagues which are going on? And a very generic, obvious question: how do you think it can help the footballing fortunes of a country like it?
Listen, baby leagues are how the football starts. You know, it helped massively to boost the promotional thing of football in India. You know that I think only last year, 2019-20, we handled over 30,000 games in this league. 30,000 games all over India. And a year before that, it was like 12,000 games, you know. So we tripled the number of the games in baby leagues. It will go up. The numbers will go up, definitely. Football is becoming very popular. It takes time, but we need to be confident about what we do, how we handle this. We need to be honest and to give the chance to all those youngsters to start playing football. That's all what we need to do.
Give the chance to all those youngsters to play football. Coach, a question from Shushmita. She asked, we heard the other day, you said the other day in a webinar that the words of the President of India brought you to India. We are obviously privileged to have you. What is your impression about India been so far, and what have you liked most in the country?
Yeah. There was a diplomatic chorus the other day, which I was involved with between Indian and Croatian governments, and some points which got nothing to do with football, but football is everywhere. So even there, I mentioned those words because those words were kind of initial part of me thinking about India. And after I heard those words, I started Googling, and checking on India and those new things happening in the life of every Indian. And I think just 1 month after that, I found out that there is a application for the job in India also. And from there, I went to become Indian national team manager. What I'm impressed with the people, definitely, with the people. People is what makes country great, what makes city great. I had a really great chance to meet many cities. That last season I was traveling a lot. I was watching ISL live games nearly every second day, as much as I could, even I-League games. I met many people, many places, visited most of the stadiums where I-League and ISL is played, and there was always a welcome and a smile and a warm people, kind people. So that's what impresses me most.
That's so nice to hear. Yeah. So nice to hear. So nice to hear, Coach. Coach, a question from my side. In fact, 2022 would be a huge year for Indian football, not from the men's side, but from the women's side. The AFC Asian Cup for the women's is being hosted in our country. The Under-17 FIFA World Cup is being hosted in our country. So in the evolvement of a successful footballing nation, parallelly and simultaneously, both the men's team and the women's team, wanted to know your thoughts about that.
Listen, we could say that girls football is developing really quick, and we can see that our girls are becoming very successful. We are all very excited about upcoming tournaments. We wish them good results. The exposure they are getting also with under-16 and under-17 teams is much, much better now, which is another point of great work of AIFF. They've been allowed to play many international games, having camps handled abroad, and it's a great job. It's all about promoting the football for the country, getting people engaged in football, and becoming successful.
Thank you so much, Coach. Last two questions before we let you go. And when you speak to Mr. Igor Stimac, there has to be a question about his international career. There's a question from Mr. Samar Bhattacharya. I don't know whether this is the former player, Mr. Samar Bhattacharya, and Mr. Bhattacharya asks, I have read that you have played against Diego Maradona, who was also a close friend of you. I trust he has seen some pictures of you, of your family with Diego, your sons with Diego. Is it the greatest ever player that you have seen or played against? Understandably, he's a great DM10 fan. Me too.
Yeah, definitely, without doubt. I had a chance to play 3 times against Diego. It was twice in Spanish league when I was there. He was playing with my teammate Davor Šuker and Diego Simeone, his countryman in Seville. At that time, I was with Cadiz, which is same region, and it's a great regional derby, And after that, we clashed in an international game. That was the last game before the World Cup, and the friendly game was held in Croatia. We had a chance to spend some time together, had a few drinks, discuss football, discuss future and our national teams. I cannot say that we were friends, but to call someone a friend takes much more. But I had a great opportunity, great chance, and a pleasure being with him, talking to him, playing against him. That's all what I can say.
What made him special? Was it his ability on the ball or with the ball?
Sorry, I didn't hear you, Nilanjan.
What made him that special? Ability with the ball?
Football gene. He could do anything with the ball, Nilanjan. He was so strong. He was quick. His technique was amazing. You could never predict what he's gonna do. He was, difficult to handle on the pitch.
Difficult to handle on the pitch.
Yeah. And by the way, he was a leader. He was a leader. He was developing his quality of his whole team for 30% when he was on the pitch. You can see the difference. You see, we are witnessing those last 10, 12 years, one Messi era, and everybody is in love with him. And we saw him only play for Barcelona and be successful with Barcelona. We didn't see him doing that with Argentina. We haven't seen him doing that with other clubs like Diego did. Wherever he went, the club was successful and he was doing miracles, which is another great quality.
Definitely, without any great quality, definitely great quality. Mrs. Irani Khan has joined our chat. That's Adil Khan's wife. And he says, we look forward to their young son to be the number 9 for India.
Mommy. Yeah.
The couple look forward for the young son to be India number 9.
Yeah, I heard about it already. First of all, congratulations to dear Kuri and Adil. I'm really expecting to see this young baby growing up and kicking the ball and becoming future India number 9.
Future India number 9. Before we let you go, some random, very fast questions, Coach. There's a sound coming on, some construction going on. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for that sound. Mr. Justin asks, what is your favorite Indian food? These are all questions related to India.
Rogan Josh, definitely.
Rogan Josh?
Yeah.
Magic Boy asks your favorite. Magic Boy asks your favorite Indian tourist spot if you have been able to be there.
Goa is open now. Welcome to Goa.
Welcome to Goa. The second last question, Mr. Satinder. Did you ever get to watch any Bollywood movie so far?
Oh, the one I watched a long time ago, and after that, probably 15 more times, is Millionaire. Amazing movie.
The last question from Mr. Ravi. Have you learned any Hindi words or any other Indian word from any Indian language?
Kaise hai aap?
Hum theek hai, Coach. Well, Coach, thank you so much. That was all. Thank you so much. Privileged to be part of this chat with you, the entire football family, for taking out your time. Means a lot. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you, Nilanjan. It was great talking to you. I hope we're going to have more opportunity for talk, but it's better we spend much more time working on the pitch than talking. It's going to be better for the fans, for all of us in the family.
This is the first time, Coach, and we'll be knocking at your door more regularly now. And now that you have come here, we won't let you escape.
You are more than welcome, all of you.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck, and thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir. God bless you.